What's up, everyone? So we got Kevin here in the chat. If you're here, go ahead and drop a message. Let me know if you can see me and hear me all right. Make sure my settings are all good to go. All right, yeah, it looks like we're all good on my end. So let me know if you guys can see me and hear me. We're just gonna do some Q&A here for a while. So any questions you have, go ahead and drop those in the chat. All right, Kevin, how's it going? What is your SOP for verifying a source website? So basically, my team is trained to look at certain details. Number one is we look at places like Trustpilot, Advisor, and we're just checking on that website to see if it's reputable based on the reviews. And then we also look for things like, does the website take PayPal? If so, I think that's a good sign. And it's another layer of protection. So we like to use PayPal as well. And then I also like to see, are they on cashback sites like Rack? These are just some things that we look for to see if the site is gonna be reputable, if it's gonna be trustworthy, and if it's gonna be a good source for us for our online arbitrage business. Geeky Cosmetics, I have concern when they're only answer email, no phone or chat. Yeah, so let me look at this site and I'll tell you what I think of it. Geeky Cosmetics. I've bought from here before. Yeah, so what I'm looking for, they're not on Rakuten. Let's see. I wonder if they take PayPal, and then I just Google, "Is Kiki Cosmetics legit?" And then I see low reviews on Trustpilot, which is good. Check Scam Advisor. So, yeah, low ratings on Trustpilot, which is not good. They have a 1.9, which is pretty bad. Scam Advisor, they're pretty trustworthy. So I'm kind of on the fence here. I would wanna see if they have PayPal. And if they do, then I'd probably be willing to try it out. If not, then this is probably something that my team would avoid unless they know that we've sourced there before with no issues, which I'm almost positive we have. Yes, Game Advisor is, just another site kinda like Trustpilot where users can put in info, and then also the website itself, I think, just runs scans on the site to see if it's gonna be trustworthy or not. So we use those 2 and any other reviews that we come across. Who else we got here? Secure checkout by Square. They do offer PayPal, so I'm a bit on the fence, but since it can go through PayPal, that's another layer of security, so I would probably check it out if the items look good. Probably worthwhile just to test. Yeah, no problem, Kevin. Saul, what's up? How's it going? Hey, Janet, what's up? So Saul said that live sourcing video leads got even better. Sweet. There was a code for the clothing lead that brought costs down by $1 each. Fantastic. Yeah, those were some pretty good leads. I think we found like 3 or 4 profitable variations. If anyone is interested in the live sourcing webinars, you can go to my website, loganaltenberger.podia.com. And basically, we tried it out once and it worked pretty well. Everyone was really satisfied and thought it went great. So I'm going to do it again and I might make it a regular thing. Might even go down some different sourcing methods like A to A, or product manager, or arbitrage. It's different sourcing methods so that we can show you all how to find some more profitable products. What's everybody working on this week? For me, I'm trying to get at least 3 YouTube videos up. I'm dropping one today about PPC, which is huge, by the way. Like, not many people talk about PPC for arbitrage, but it's the campaign that I started, it's ran for, like, a year and a half now, but in that time, it's generated an extra $60,000 for me, which is substantial. I mean, even over a year and a half, that's an average of what, like 4 grand a month? So everyone should be doing this, and it's super low cost, super simple. So definitely check out that video when I drop it today. Like, you gotta be doing it. It's a no-brainer. The spend on to generate that 60K was like 3 grand. So I spent 3 grand in ads and was able to add 60 grand in my top line, which is huge. Every arbitrage seller should be doing PPC. Not a lot of people talk about it. Maybe a live where you go over your software like SalesGazer and how it's set up would be fire. Yeah, for sure. If you guys have any other live webinar suggestions, I'm open to it. One that I've thought about doing is hiring VAs and that whole process, how to hire them, manage them, onboard them, the whole team dynamic process and everything. If you have any other webinar suggestions, let me know, and I'll add them to the list. Kick Central, what's up? SalesGazer one would be dope. Yeah, I wonder if I could. I'm gonna add that to my video idea actually, because I can probably connect with the guy who created SalesGazer, Chris Grant, and he can just give you guys a walkthrough so you can hear from the creator the best way to do it, how to navigate everything. So that's a really good idea. I'm gonna add it to my content ideas list, and I'll see if I can set that up with Chris. Super good tool. PPC would be good. I do some, but feel like I'm missing something. It'd be nice to see what people do. Yeah, so my PPC, I'm dropping a video on it today, but it's pretty basic. So basically, we add everything to one big campaign, bid low, and then just have all those products always running on PPC. And like I said, it's been able to generate an extra 60K for me. And then I'm starting to dive into more specific stuff with PPC with my other brand and my other Amazon store, Alpha Candles. I started running PPC on there just to see if we can increase our sales. And right now, it's not very well optimized, but it's a learning process. And as the more I learn, the more I'll be able to share with you guys. So definitely stay up to date on that. Yeah, shout out Chris Grant for sure. The OA challenge, all the tools that he's developed. Yeah, tons of good content. Definitely go follow Chris Grant if you haven't already. Seller board. Yeah, so Seller board has a ton of tools and features. We mainly just use it for looking at items that we want to replen. So it gives us kind of a report you can enter, like, let's say it takes a week for you to get your online arbitrage orders from Bed Bath& and Beyond. So any items that you purchase from Bed Bath& and Beyond, you just enter a lead time of 7 days, and then it will compare that to your sell-through data and then tell you what day you should reorder and how many units you should reorder. And we don't follow it to a T, but it's a good starting point for us to then go in, manually look at the data, and make an actual, replan decision. It also can calculate profits and all that other stuff. Do you have an opinion on Fast Track FBA for training VAs? So I've never used the service, so I can't speak on it too much. I'll say if you have way more money than time, then it can be an interesting service to look into. I have met Thomas, the owner of Fast Track FBA, and he seems very legit, very straightforward, quality guy. And I know a lot of people have used this service and have benefited from it. So it's definitely something to look into. And if any of you are in my Outsource Everything program, he's actually going to be coming on here in a couple weeks just to speak to the course members, and he's going to be talking about his vast experience. He's hired over 600 virtual assistants. So he'll be talking about hiring them, training them, that whole process, and then he'll also pitch his service a little bit for anyone who is interested. Yeah, I personally have never used a service like his or his specifically, but I would say if you have a ton of money and you don't have the time to train, then it could be something that you should look into. All right, so I got that sales grazer with Chris Grant video. If anyone else has any other video ideas, let me know. So for this month, I'm going to be dropping 3 videos a month, and then depending on how it goes, we might just keep that up. So open ears for any content ideas. What's up, Jaden? Does your ROI and margin numbers differ from OA to wholesale, keeping in mind volumes and replens? Yeah, so typically the higher up, I guess I'll say your business model, the lower your margin. So let's say you start with retail arbitrage, your margins are gonna be pretty good because you're buying items so cheap. And then as you start to scale, let's say from retail arbitrage to online arbitrage, your margins are generally gonna lower. I was seeing probably like an 18%, maybe even 20 sometimes net margin on my retail arbitrage. And then right now in my OA business, I see around 10 to 12. Mine is a little bit lower. I think most people see around 15. Mine's lower since I don't do much work for the business. I only work a few hours a week. I'm paying more to have everything run itself. My margin is a little bit lower, and then wholesale is generally gonna be a few points below that. So what I generally hear in the wholesale space is around 9 to 11% margin, kinda where I'm at with my OA business, but people are probably a bit more hands-on. So yeah, probably cuts in half from retail arbitrage to wholesale. Margins generally just dip the more volume you do. It's especially with wholesale, the numbers game, so it's about pushing a ton of units even if it's at a lower margin. And your margin's lower, but your profit overall is gonna be higher, which is what matters more. Like, do you want a $10,000 business with a 20% net margin, or do you want $1,000,000 business with a 10% net margin? One, you're making substantially more money even though you have a lower net margin. Sound is a little bit weird. Let me scoot my mic closer. Let me know if that is any better. I'll play with my settings. That helps? Sweet. Awesome. Jaden asked, thoughts on Amazon Global selling, allowing products to be shipped to other countries? Do you sell just USA? So I just sell USA, and I'm kind of gonna have a negative attitude towards this question, so definitely get some other perspectives besides just me. I'm really adverse to selling globally because I'm having an issue right now where a little over a month ago, I had an issue on my Canadian account, which, by the way, I've never even sold on, but I had a suspected IP issue, which put my account into at-risk status. And since then, Amazon has been holding all my money from me, despite my accounts being in healthy status. So I'm kind of right now against it just because of that happened to me. Some general guidelines I can give you, though, if you do want to go with the global selling route or just don't blindly list your entire catalog in other countries because the laws are different in other countries. So you might be able to sell something here in the USA. Once you start selling that in Canada or Mexico, Canada is really where most people have issues, but it might be illegal. There might be ingredients in your product that are against the law there that make it a pharmaceutical or other things that are going to violate your health. Also, brand registry is different. So, for example, it might be completely okay to sell a brand here, but whenever you go and sell it in Canada, it's gonna be a trademark violation or something else that's gonna violate the law. So if you want to sell globally, that's fine, you can look into it, but definitely do your research. Make sure that the products that you're gonna be listing over there are gonna be safe to list, and, yeah, don't just blindly list everything. Do you have any data indicating if our leads lists get oversaturated? So mine specifically, we haven't heard really any complaints, and I think the reason for that is because we're capped at a low amount. Um, Generally just 10 subscribers. There's one list that's 15, but generally 10, 15, and going forward, all the lists will be capped at 10. So since we have a low subscriber amount, our leads are generally adverse thinking. Whereas if you go with a leads list or Bolo group that has 30, 40, 50 plus members, those leads are probably gonna take. And another thing, Kevin, even if the leads do tank, you can be the person that goes back to it. So most people, how they use a lead list is they just open it up, they buy those products that same day, and then maybe the products go through and they sell, but they don't replenish it. Maybe the products do end up tanking, and they're not that person who goes back and repurchases the lead. So definitely go back and look at your old lists from 2, 3, 4 months ago. See if any of them are still profitable, and then be that person that replens them even if they tanked, but now they've recovered, they can come back on and still profit off those opportunities. Yeah, issues with Canada, mainly restricted. Yeah, the main issue is restricted and then sometimes suspected IP issues. Yeah, Canada is a pain. Really haven't had too many issues in Mexico. A couple, but not many. Canada was the main one. 100%. How do you handle bookkeeping? Do you outsource any part of it? Yeah, so it's pretty much all outsourced. I'm gonna be going with a bookkeeping firm probably in the next month or so, but for now, we just have one of my employees. He so Inventory Lab handles mostly everything, and then he'll go in and kinda reconcile with the other expenses, the other transactions, any other income from other platforms, things like that, and he just enters it all as other income or other expenses in the Inventory Lab. So that's our process now, but here in the next month or so, I'm gonna be moving over to a bookkeeping firm just to make sure that everything is even more organized so that we can be super prepared for when tax season comes and just making sure that we're on top of everything, know our numbers and everything like that. And the firm I'm gonna be going with, by the way, is Aggie Business Solutions, if you wanna look into them. They are former Amazon sellers, so they kinda know the lingo, they know what to look for, and I think that's super important, that you're not working with just some random, bookkeeper, but someone who actually understands the space that you're in. So that's why I'm gonna go with them. What other questions do you guys have? What are your top 5 categories you sell into currently? Good question. So, like, people ask me what categories I sell in pretty often, actually, and the answer that I give them is, like, I don't even know what we're buying, we just buy the data behind the product. I'm not looking at any specific categories, it's just if it's profitable, if it makes money, if the data looks good, we're gonna buy it and we're gonna profit on that. But top 5 categories, I would probably say right now are, like, health and household, uh probably beauty is still up there, but we've been selling less beauty with all the restricted product policy violations. Clothing is always up there. Uh, Shoes, not so much anymore, but I would say apparel is up there. So probably health and household and apparel would be our top categories. I'd guess off the top of my head. Do a solid amount of like grocery, but not a ton. Do you think Keepa is backed by Amazon? Do you mean like Amazon is funding them or Amazon owns them? I don't think so. I think Keep is just an independent company that has API access through Amazon so that they're able to pull all that information. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, I guess, if Amazon was involved somehow since it provides so much value to sellers and allows sellers to be successful on their platform. I really don't know. Never thought about it actually. Guys, so yeah, definitely you need to be doing this PPC thing that I'm talking about earlier. My business partner just sent me over a screenshot. I told him about the PPC strategy last week, and he spent 78 bucks in ads and generated $680 already just in a few days. It's crazy. You guys need to be doing this, and I'm dropping a video on it later today. Like, it's huge. I've literally added $60,000 in revenue off just a $3,000 ad. Yeah. What do you think of the Amazon influencer program? I don't know too much about it. Is that tell me what that is, or let me look it up. I've heard of it, but I'm not super familiar. Amazon influencer program, an extension of the Amazon Associates program, brings product-related content from influencers onto Amazon. Yeah, I'm not too familiar. It looks like basically influencers can build a storefront. Sounds cool. Sounds like a good way for Amazon to piggyback off influencers and give them an opportunity to make money while also just driving more traffic to their platform. Seems pretty cool. Yeah, I was actually talking to a friend today about trying to monetize his content, and like affiliate links are a great way to do that. And if you have products that you can recommend, especially on Amazon where everybody shops, then that's huge. So it looks like this ability to build your own storefront could just add on to that even more. Kevin asks, "Do you have any plans to try to sell on Walmart?" Probably at some point. So I have a Walmart account right now. I don't use it though. I've tried making a couple listings, but it's not something I'm putting a ton of effort into. Yeah, probably as I come back and try to expand my business more. So right now I'm kind of happy where things are at. And then I'm gonna be building up some other revenue streams like Alpha Candles and a couple other businesses. And then once I have more money coming in from other places to where I'm not completely reliant on Amazon, then I'll come back and build this Amazon store more, or generally speaking, e-commerce. So I will probably use Walmart as another platform whenever I come back and try and grow this e-commerce business more. It's super interesting, and I think long term Walmart will be a really big competitor to Amazon. When I was in Vegas, they were talking about the number of fulfillment centers. Amazon had like 100 to 200 fulfillment centers in the country, which I thought it'd be way more. Walmart has 10,000 stores. So who do you think is more optimized for quick fulfillment? Probably Walmart. You know, they're everywhere, they can get stuff to you faster. So long term, once more people go there and once they're, better optimized and they have their stuff figured out better, they're probably gonna be a really big competitor, and I wanna be a part of it. Yeah, until Amazon starts delivering by drone. True. But what if Walmart uses drones? The nearest Amazon fulfillment center to me is, like I guess I have one, like, an hour away, so never mind. I was gonna say, like, 4 or 5 hours. But still, the nearest Amazon fulfillment center is, like, an hour away from me, whereas the nearest Walmart's, like, 15 minutes. So even if they both use drones, who's gonna give it to me faster? I mean, at that point, it probably doesn't matter, but hey, if I want something 45 minutes sooner, I'll order it from Walmart. And honestly, that's the way people are heading. Like, 45 minutes probably eventually will be a big deal. Like, you wanna order something and have it show up in 10 minutes. You shoulda said hi. If you ever see me somewhere, come up and say, "Hey." I can put my phone down, whatever I'm doing. Well, I'll be at ASD again in August, so hopefully we can meet there, and anyone else who's there too, feel free to come up and say hey. Is anyone in here using ChatGPT for their business in any way? I recorded another video last night about how I used ChatGPT to basically build our whole Alpha Candles storefront. So it created all the listings, and yeah, Chat that's just one way that you can utilize it. It's super cool. Curious if anyone has used it yet for their business or just in general. Played around with it for a bit, and nothing for my business. Gotcha. Definitely has applications, like, think about appeals or responding to customer messages, creating SOPs, like, there's tons of different practical ways that you can utilize it. And this is just one thing. Like, I've been seeing so many different AI things lately that, like, it's gonna replace a lot of jobs and it'll make things more efficient and it'll replace jobs, so it's terrifying and exciting at the same time. That's really cool. I've seen that people are having AI write books, then sell them on Amazon. Yeah, it's just another way. Crazy. Like, AI, if you're gonna understand how to use it in the practical ways that you can apply it, there's so many ways to make money, there's so many ways to make your existing operation more efficient, there's so many ways that it can come up with new things for you, and we're just in the infancy of AI. Think about it in a couple decades, the capabilities that it's gonna have. Lewis, what's up, man? Just hanging out and doing some Q&A, talking about AI, PPC. What are you up to today? Who else we got here? I see we got 10 people watching. If you guys are here, drop a message. No? Just doing some editing. What do you use for your editing? I'm trying to drop 3 videos a week this month, and my editor is handling 2 of those, but I'm gonna edit 1 myself. So, just curious what you use and what your editing process looks like. I've been using Adobe Premiere Pro, and then again, I have a thumbnail guy, but I'm gonna make one of my thumbnails each week, and I'm just using Canva for that. Doing some prep. We gotta get that outsourced. Last big FBA shipment. Sweet. Before prep center. Awesome. Love it. How many units you shipping out today? Keep it simple. iMovie tried using Premiere, but it's too powerful. It took longer to edit. Yeah, it's definitely super powerful. Like, there's so many features and yeah. I have a Skillshare. I don't know if you've heard of it, but basically it's a place that you can learn, like, they have tons of courses and you can just learn new skills, but a lot of them are around video production, thumbnails, that kinda stuff. So, yeah, I'm going through some Skillshare courses to try and learn more about Premiere Pro, but yeah, it's super, super advanced. I actually don't know if I've ever used iMovie, but I have heard quite a few people use it, and we focus on the content more than how it looks, just gotta be a bit better than the other guys. Yeah, a lot of people don't edit, don't know how. Yeah, I have an editor who does most of my videos, but I'm trying to hone that skill set myself. So for this month and then maybe going forward, I'm gonna edit a few of the videos. It's a super important skill, so I just wanna practice it to become better. But right now, I don't know a ton, but the only way we can get better is practicing, so that's what I'm doing. 258 units. Sweet. It is definitely tedious. So congrats on moving that over to a prep center. Free up your time to not have to do that repetitive stuff and focus on higher ROI stuff. Looking into getting an editor, how does that work? So I like hiring out of the Philippines. That's where most of my team is. So basically, you go to onlinejobs.ph, you throw up a job posting saying you're looking for an editor, and yeah, you can pay them whatever you want. Generally, you can get a full-time editor for, 500 bucks or so, give or take a little bit, but they can work full time for the $500 for a month because the dollar goes a lot further there. And then, what we do is we just communicate through Discord. Whenever I have raw files filmed, I just upload them to Google Drive. He downloads them, puts them into his Premiere Pro account, edits them, and then puts the finished video back up in Drive. And I download it and upload it to YouTube. So basically how it works. You could hire part-time too, but depending on your needs. I've generally found that full-time works better. So even if you're having to do other stuff outside of editing. Does anyone else here have, an editor, any other employees out of the Philippines? I know a lot of people in the Amazon space like to hire there for virtual assistants, which primarily do product research, but could definitely do any other tasks as well. Are they able to handle the mistakes and bloopers, plus language is not an issue? Yeah, so if I ever, like, notice that I made a mistake, I usually just say, "Hey," while I'm recording, I'll just say like, "Hey, I just messed up here, cut that out." Or if I have a specific instruction, since he's going through the entire video, I just say it during the recording process so that he can see it. Yeah, they're usually able to catch that stuff even if you don't mention it. Obviously, it'll depend on who you hire, but my guy's pretty good. And then the language is not an issue. No, so anyone I've ever hired from there speaks English. So it's fairly common, at least for people who are trying to get jobs with us. I will say sometimes, like, when they're adding subtitles, the spelling will be a little off or they heard what you said a little bit differently, and, you'll just have to ask them to correct it. So, it can be a minor issue, but for the most part, communicating isn't an issue. It's just sometimes with the subtitles, they'll find a little bit of trouble, but just let them know, "Hey, can you fix this?" And then they'll fix it for you. It's not a big deal. The time it saves, even if you have to have them go back and change a couple of words, is worth it 100%. You're welcome. Let me know if you have any other questions on hiring. Keep me posted if you get that editor. Save me a ton of time. Do you guys have any more questions? What's your best way to grow your relationship with your wholesale suppliers? And eventually, at what point do you seek volume discounts? So, yeah, I'll preface this with I'm far from a wholesale expert and it's only about 15% of my business, but I'll give you some general advice. So the best way to grow your relationship with your suppliers is show them that you mean business. So spend more money with them. Tell them, hey, if you ever have products that you're having trouble moving, let me take a look and take those products from them, even if you're going to be breaking even if you're not making a ton of money. You can buy that from them just to show them that you're serious and that you're willing to put up money to grow that relationship. And, on holidays, send them holiday cards. If you know that they had an event in their life, maybe like they got married or had a child, send them a card, send them a message, say, "Hey, congratulations." If you live near them, go meet with them, take them out to lunch. Build that relationship any way that you can, and show that you're willing to spend money for that relationship. And then I think you'll probably know when it's time to seek volume discounts. So you're not gonna ask for it whenever you're first starting to spend money for them, but after you've put in a few POs, you show them that you mean business, you can just ask them the question, "Hey, I'm showing you that I mean business. I'm here to grow a successful relationship that's mutually beneficial for us. What kind of volume discounts can I start to expect? I would love to give you guys some more business. I just wanna make sure that we're getting the best possible wholesale price." Say something like that, and you'll understand when it's best. Any guests for the outsource everything program this week? I don't think so, but let me double check. I know we've got a ton of events this month. I don't think there's any this week, though. Let me double check. Yeah, no events this week. Next week, we have 3 guests, 2 the week after, and then I'll be doing a event on the last day or the last week. So, yeah, next week, we got Tom from Fast Track FBA. We've got Levi from OA Flips. Mid America Prep will be coming back on. And then a couple more guests. Warner from Fields of Profit will be joining us the week after that, as well as one of my mentors to just talk about leadership. So, yeah, a lot of events this month, super excited. How do you suggest networking with other sellers and growing your relationships with those on a similar level with you? Well, how to drive value both ways. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say, look for ways to deliver value. So, I think Instagram is a really good place to do this, especially with people who are putting out content, and you should become one of those people too. So if you see someone that you wanna connect with, slide up on their story, send them a DM, show up in their live streams like this whenever they go live, and just look for ways that you can provide value to them. So me, whenever I wanna connect with somebody, something that I will look for is if maybe they do something unique in their business, and I find something that could complement that. So, for example, a few weeks ago, I came across some A to A flips. I don't do a ton of A to A flips in my business, but I was just looking through, Amazon one day, found some A to A flip opportunities, and I thought, "Who do I know that likes to do A to A?" So I reached out to a couple people. I said, "Hey, I know you like to do some A to A flips. Here's some products that you might be interested in." Didn't ask for anything in return, just showed them that I could deliver value to them. And then that helps foster that relationship, and they know that I'm giving them value, and then whenever the time comes, they can give me value back. It's a give, take, give, take. Yeah, absolutely. Discord is huge. Private groups, whether it's on Facebook, Discord, any other platform, really can be a great way to connect with people. It's a lot easier to have conversations in those groups, especially Discord, because there's all the different chat channels and you can just connect with people. By the way, if you're not in my Discord, I'll drop a link here. We do have a free Discord group for anyone who wants to come and hang out. I'll drop a link here in the chat. So, yeah, if you're looking for ways to network, definitely join that Discord group. Completely free and just a place that you can ask questions, and connect with other sellers. Just working on some sales tax stuff. So for Amazon, they handle your sales tax stuff for you, but for my brick and mortar store, off of Candles, which we're now on Amazon too, but we have to report our sales tax every month. Working on that well, do this live stream. Working a full-time job, 40 hours a week, and doing Amazon. Suggestions for best use of time. It's tough doing that, especially if you have other responsibilities depending on where you're at in life. But, really you need to just focus on the higher ROI stuff, so the most important stuff. I always tell people that product research is the foundation for your business, so that you absolutely need to make sure is being done on a regular basis. I don't know where you're at. You generally need either capital or time. Maybe you don't have a ton of time since you're working full time, but you have some more capital that you can invest. You should look into things like leads lists because they'll allow you to make sure that you're having leads come in on a regular basis without you actually having to do it yourself. So you can utilize leads lists, but you need to be making sure that you have more leads coming in every single day, really. And then just making sure that you're buying them consistently, and then maybe you can utilize a prep center since you don't have a ton of time. And prep is just a really low ROI activity, as we mentioned earlier. So really depends where you're at in terms of how much capital you have available. But yeah, if you have not a ton of time, if you have capital, it makes that easier. So I would recommend just focus on the higher, more important stuff, the stuff that takes more brain power, and outsource the easier stuff. How do you go about scheduling your day, specific number of hours per task, and then move on without rabbit down sourcing, etc.? So I don't do a ton for the business, so my day is really just for the Amazon stuff. I wake up, I check my Discord messages, I check my email, see if my team needs anything from me. And when we're actively buying, kind of on a hold right now since Amazon is holding my funds for me. But then I would just look at the credit cards and bank account real quick and tell my buyer which cards to use for that day. And then from there, I'm really done with Amazon. Keep an eye on things if I have more messages come in or if wholesale opportunities come up. But yeah. So then after that, since I don't really have a ton to do for Amazon, I'm just looking at what other tasks I have to accomplish. So a lot of my days are now filled with meetings just with all the ventures that I have going on. So, I'll just plan for whatever meetings I have or whatever tasks need to be accomplished. Right now, I'm working hard on content, so I'll spend time planning content, filming, editing. A day is really I get rid of those things that have to be done every day first thing, and then from there, it's more flexible to whatever generally needs to be done. How is 75 hard going? Not good. So it was going good up until I was in Vegas, and then, yeah, it didn't go well in Vegas, so I had to end up, uh I lost while I was in Vegas, basically, and then I'll be probably restarting here soon. I don't know if I wanna do the full 75 hard or just look at ways that I can intentionally build those habits without doing the 75 hard challenge. Because for me, 75 hard wasn't about, like, the physical or mental physical benefits, even though that's obviously a big factor for it. For me, it was the mental challenge and just every single day choosing to do what you're supposed to do, not what you feel like doing. So if I can incorporate a way to just continually make good decisions and continually do those good habits, and that's what I'm really going for. So as of now, I lost 75 hard. I'll either start that back up or I'll start up something similar. Yeah, Vegas will get you. Guess I should unmute. Did you get your account all fixed? I saw FBA boys posted a similar issue today, and I'll have to reach out to them and see what they're doing about it. So no, it's not fixed as of now. Yeah, they're just holding all my funds even though my account is in excellent status. My account health score is like 750. So I'm working with Riverbend Consulting and some other things to see if we can get it resolved. I submitted 4 appeals over the weekend to different departments and hoping and praying that it can be resolved soon because obviously that's a lot of money to just have tied up. Yeah, it's almost 200K now. It's a lot of money, and the amount just keeps growing every day. So my account's still active, I'm still making sales, they're just not giving me a payout. Yeah, but we're working on it, we're gonna keep chugging along, we'll get it resolved here sooner or later, and yeah. Alright, any final questions before we wrap up today? Gonna be trying to go live every day this week around this time, so definitely stay tuned. If you could go ahead and turn on notifications and subscribe if you haven't already. That way you'll get notified when I go live and drop a new video so you don't miss. Yeah, for sure. It is. I hope it gets resolved soon too. Glad for Walmart payouts, yeah. Quite a few people have or I know of quite a few people who had an issue like this, but they were able to kinda rely on their Walmart payouts. So maybe that's something I should prioritize a little bit more, have more diversified revenue and sales. Yeah, so going live pretty much every day this week and dropping 3 videos this week, hopefully. I'll have one coming up today, again, about PPC. You guys need to watch this one, you guys need to implement it. Just it's a no-brainer, it's so cheap and it adds so much revenue to your store. But it's $60,000 again. I know I keep saying that, but that is substantial. $3,000 ad spend turned into 60K in revenue. Top tools you source OA or methods in term of software. So let me grab a link to a video. But basically, we use Keepa, RevSeller, SellerAmp. Um, yeah, I'll link a video here that you can check out. And it's going over my 7 top softwares that we use for online arbitrage. So you can definitely go check that out. And yeah, we'll be live and dropping more videos this week. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate you sticking around, hanging out for an hour. And we'll see you tomorrow whenever I go live again. So peace out. Have a fantastic day. Peace.